Good evening, I'm Satara Coote, filling in for Ariane Johnson.
And I'm Mary Beth Scher, filling in for Carl Eckwertzel.
And this is the Panther Report. As college serves as the first taste of freedom for some students, underage drinking in university housing tends to happen often, but at times can lead to serious consequences.
I know it's a serious offense, but what would happen if a student actually got caught? I mean, it's not like RAs have the authority to send them to jail.
Well, maybe not, but they certainly won't let students partake in the drinking without serving any consequences. Reporter Bob Nadie has more.
An entire new group of young adolescents and freshmen arrive at U.S. colleges not only every fall, but year-round. Many away from home for the first time to join the free beer party. It happens and affects virtually all college students and campuses. Underage drinking on college campuses is a significant problem that continues to be on the rise nationwide. Whether the effects are related to sleep, study interruption, or even a fatal car crash, students who are non-users of alcohol are also negatively affected by the misconduct of their peers. Do you know the consequences if a student is caught drinking and they're underage here in the dorms?
I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that they probably call the police and you can probably be kicked out of school.
Do you think underage drinking in student dorms is a problem or not?
No, not really. I see cops around a lot, but I mean, I never really hear about drinking problems around the Commons or freshman hall or any of that.
So how big of an issue is this really here at Georgia State? How do college students manage to get alcohol into their dorms? And is there anyone to monitor them? And what are the consequences if they are caught drinking if they're underage? These are the questions we asked Georgia State Student Housing residential assistants.
Obviously, if you're under 21, you're not allowed to drink on campus. If you're over 21, you are allowed to drink, but you have to be, basically you have to be only with other people that are 21. You can't be with any minors. There's protocol we're expected to follow. We're expected to contact the professional staff, address the issue, write an incident report, and it would go to the dean of students. And so it generally ends up getting handled. The RAs, we don't deal with any disciplinary actions ourselves. That's generally up to the dean of students.
Reporting from the GSU Student Housing, Bob Nadie, Panther Report.
U.S. Representative of Georgia's 5th District, Congressman John Lewis, was a key leader of the civil rights movement. Serving as representative since 1987, Lewis is admired by his colleagues for his dedication to human rights and civil liberties. Our very own Ariane Johnson talked with Congressman Lewis. Let's see what he had to say.
Aging, Social Security. Those aren't normal topics of conversation for Georgia State University students, but the reality is aging affects all of us. And today we're fortunate enough to hear from an advocate of aging, Congressman John Lewis. People filled the seats of the Student Center ballroom at Georgia State University and eagerly awaited the arrival of the well-known Georgia civil rights leader and legislator. The congressman was the featured speaker in the 2012 Barbara Pittard Payne Lectureship in Gerontology, and he took this opportunity to maintain his position as an advocate for the aging population in the United States.
Our seniors pass on meaning, tradition, knowledge, and understanding. These valuable members of our society have paid their dues.
The GSU Gerontology Institute's director, Elizabeth Burgess, spoke about the congressman's activism and the importance of the study of gerontology.
We now have over 75 students enrolled in our programs, and we're growing every day. Our biggest growing population in our program is undergraduates who are adding a certificate to their programs in social work, nursing, public health, sociology, psychology. You can do anything with a gerontology certificate, and it's one of the fastest growing careers out there right now.
I want to speak just for a moment about some of the issues. Social Security, Medicare and Medicaid in particular have been on the chopping blocks in Washington in recent months, years, and it's not right, it's not fair, and it is not just.
Like Congressman Lewis said, it's up to us and it's up to all of you to fight the good fight, to get arrested if it takes it, to protest, to advocate for the resources and needs for what maybe now your parents or grandparents, but one day will be you.
Congressman Lewis also had a call to action for the youth.
You must be the leaders, the fighters, to look out not just for your generation, but for generation yet unborn. In another age and another period, I did what I could to help make our country better. You will be the leaders of the 21st century. Get out there, push and pull, and do your part.
The Trayvon Martin case has garnered much outrage from the public, and people are now resorting to protests for justice to be served. Here in Atlanta, the public and civil rights groups are taking their frustrations to the Capitol. Reporting from the Capitol is Marquia Thomas.
Hundreds gathered at the Georgia State Capitol to protest for justice for Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was a 17-year-old boy gunned down by George Zimmerman, a self-appointed neighborhood watch captain. Citizens are outraged by the death of Trayvon Martin.
No justice, no peace. Pass bills, pass heat. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. We want justice for Trayvon.
Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old boy, was walking home from a convenience store with a can of iced tea and a bag of Skittles when George Zimmerman, a self-appointed neighborhood watch captain, made a call to police stating a suspicious boy was walking in his neighborhood. Shortly after the call was made, Zimmerman shot Martin. A protester claims this fight for justice does not only affect the United States.
This is a humanitarian effort. The rest of the world is looking to see how the United States is going to react to this right now. And we have to lead by example. We cannot be in other countries. We cannot be in Libya. We cannot be in Syria. We cannot be in all these different countries and claiming that those regimes are oppressing their people, are murdering their people and slaughtering their people, when our people are being slaughtered on the streets and nobody's being held accountable. So the first thing the United States has to do is take a look at itself.
The injustice of Trayvon Martin affects everyone, according to the president of the Student Government Association at Spelman College.
A threat to justice in Sanford, Florida is a threat to justice in Atlanta, Georgia, and everywhere. In the wise words of Dr. Martin Luther King, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly.
Erica Jackson feels as if anyone could have been Trayvon.
I'm here to support Trayvon Martin because this could have been anybody. This could have been my brother. This could have been my father. You know, it could have been my niece, my nephew, anybody. So I'm here to support him because I think it's not right. And Zimmerman, he needs to be in jail. He needs to go to jail.
Zimmerman claims he was using self-defense against Martin, which is legal under the Stand Your Ground law. 23 states currently have this law in place.
They have announced to appeal the Stand Your Ground law in Georgia, but this is only the beginning. Reporting from the state capitol, Marquia Thomas for the Panther Report.
Hey GSU, Jimmy Lou here with this week's Panther Report. This week's topic is bullying and its presence not only on the GSU campus but also in the work environment. Is this a problem that some GSU students are being faced with? Let's go ask some questions and let's find out. What is bullying to you?
To me, I would say bullying is when you're forced or you feel pressured to do something that you don't want to do.
Experience bullying in the workplace?
Actually, no, not at all.
You haven't. Do you know of anyone who has?
Yes, I have. And honestly, you know, with the way they put people through, you know, in the workplace, like give you work over the weekend, even though you work 5 days a week enough already, I wouldn't take that.
Well, working at Walmart, many of the older cashiers, they'll just give me the leftover work. Like working at the short registers, taking out the garbage and pushing the carts outside. And I just feel like they're discriminating against me because I'm younger.
What are some tips you can give for other people who are being bullied in the workplace?
I would just say to anyone who is feeling this way at work to just report the actions. Don't take it lightly because it's not fair.
Hi GSU, Jimmy Lou here, and I'm sitting with Miss Valerie Fennell. She's the coordinator of the Bullying and Mobbing in the Workplace workshop that they have here going on at GSU. Can you tell us more about the workshop?
Well, the workshop is designed for anybody on campus to come to, and we talk a lot about problems that come up on the job, because sometimes people have stories to tell about it. But basically, bullying is kind of extreme behavior that goes on for a long period of time. We have a list of about 10 different behaviors, including shouting, screaming, including also things like forcing people to do work that's not a part of their job, overworking people, changing their schedules, all of this without planning and without explanation. And if you put all those behaviors together and it's prolonged, then it becomes understandable. A lot of people believe that a person who has a position of authority has the right to make people uncomfortable. I don't believe that, and I think most modern management theory would say it's not good, it's detrimental, and it's not really a prerogative just because you have an authority position. This summer we're going to have 2 workshops, one on June 27th and another one on August 22nd. And anybody in the GSU community is invited to come to that. Those will be at 11:30 to 1 on both those days, and in the Sinclair suite of the Student Center.
Okay, so there you have it, June 27th and was that August 22nd. Here at Georgia State, we'll be having a bullying and mobbing in the workplace workshop. Also, if there are any RAs that are interested in having a bullying program for their residents, feel free to contact Ms. Fennell at 404-413-2510 or visit her in person at her office in room 215, 1 Park Place.
In celebration of Women's History Month, the Women's Employment Opportunity Project hosted a program, From a Woman's Perspective. Opening this program is Celeste Turner, a success coach who advocates success through entrepreneurship.
You think about the way a woman runs a household, how important a woman is in our community. Entrepreneurs, especially when they're female, they're important role models. They also start different types of businesses traditionally than men, so it adds to the variety of businesses. And then in addition to being role models, adding to different types of businesses, women do things extremely well.
You could call Celeste Turner a jack of all trades. She is a marketing professional, a college professor, and can help you become successful.
A lot of times when you go to business school, they tell you about how to make money, they tell you how to market, but they don't tell you the importance and power of people in business.
Fellow entrepreneurs found Turner's advice to be valid and beneficial.
What I really appreciated was Celeste's perspective about being authentic and, knowing who you are, why you're here, what's your God-given passion, and then taking that and utilizing it to kind of help the world.
She spoke about maximizing on opportunities and things of that nature, and also kind of saying that success is your own personalized thing. It's not something that you should listen to someone else about, or it's not something that somebody else can tell you. It's your personal, and you got to make it your own.
Women empowerment is a frequent theme held not only by Turner, but other guest speakers, including WSB producer Myrna Moore and Judge Penny Brown Reynolds. Celeste Turner spoke about many things, but one thing is clear: success is measured by personal happiness. Reporting from Atlanta Technical College, Markia Thomas for the Panther Report.
Now we move on to Morgan Mahone with your entertainment news.
Hey Panthers! Usually the entertainment segment is filled with the routine of the celeb world. Who's having a baby, who's dating who's wearing what. But today, I'm so excited to talk about something that really matters: celeb activism. Sure, when I tweet my followers, my voice is heard, but nothing pushes a cause as a message sent to 200,000 followers. Celebrities have thrown their star power behind the National Campaign for Justice in the case of slain teen Trayvon Martin. As many of you already know, 17-year-old unarmed Trayvon was shot by a neighborhood watchman. The shooter, George Zimmerman, made a 911 call after he identified the teen as suspicious because he was wearing a hooded sweatshirt. After the Sanford, Florida Police Department decided that they would not pursue any charges against Zimmerman because of Zimmerman's claim of self-defense, this case has caught nationwide attention and widespread outrage at the handling of this case. Celebs weighed in, tweeting and posting pictures of themselves in hoodies. A host of celebrities, from hip-hop icon and entrepreneur Russell Simmons to New Age leader Deepak Chopra to director Spike Lee, have written and tweeted calling for justice for Martin. Some celebs used their pulpits to drum up awareness, while others issued warnings, with Simmons tweeting this last week: "Trayvon Martin didn't die so we can create a race war. He died so we can promote better understanding. We must start honest dialogue." Here's a picture of the Miami Heat players donning their hoodies, along with R&B singer Frank Ocean, producer Swiss Beats, Amare Stoudemire, producer The Dream, rapper Nelly, and many others. Last Friday, President Obama commented that he had been moved by the racially charged incident, insisting, "If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon," and calling for an official probe. Now, a slew of stars have backed Obama, with director Spike Lee taking to Twitter to post a photo of his own son wearing a hooded sweatshirt as a sign of solidarity for Martin. Lee quoted Obama before tweeting, "My 14-year-old son, Jackson Lewis Lee, he is Trayvon Martin." Sex and the City star Gilles Marini also released a photo of himself in a hoodie, tweeting, "I love what #Obama said. If I had a son, he'd look like #Trayvon. Here is my hoodie pic as respect to #Trayvon." Okay, let's get off such a serious topic to remind you of upcoming events on campus. On Friday the 6th, Panther Palooza, the spring concert, will be here with a pretty stellar lineup, if I say so myself. The concert features artist Dev, known for her song Dancing in the Dark, R&B singer Miguel with hits such as Sure Thing and Quickie, and duo Carmen, most famous for their YouTube cover of Chris Brown's Look at Me Now. In the city, some great musical artists will be in town. On Sunday, April the 1st at 7:30, hip-hop artist Wale and R&B artist Miguel will be teaming up at the Masquerade. As some of my personal favorites, I hope to see you there. Catch Snow Patrol with Ed Sheeran at the Tabernacle on Monday, April the 2nd. And Jazz 91.9 WCOK celebrates its long-standing legacy of jazz and service to the Atlanta community by featuring a signature benefit concert each year. This year marks the 38th anniversary for the station, which hails as the longest-running jazz station in Atlanta and the Southeast. The benefit concert with Chaka Khan is sure to make this an especially memorable occasion. Chaka Khan will be at the Cobb Energy Performing Arts Center on Wednesday, April the 4th. Whatever you do this week, Panthers, have fun and stay safe. I'm Morgan Mahone, and that was your Panther Report Entertainment News. Over to Chanel Walker with sports.
Hey Panthers, Chanel Walker here with the Sports Beat. In basketball news, our very own Atlanta Hawks will be playing tonight at 7:30 versus the New York Knicks here in Atlanta. This should be a very exciting game, so be sure to attend. They also play tomorrow at Philadelphia, so be sure to tune in and support the Hawks as they play the 76ers. In other NBA news, the Miami Heat stood together as a team, taking a photo wearing hoodies in support of the loss of teenager Trayvon Martin. On Sunday, the team had a moment of silence, and LeBron James wrote "R.I.P. Trayvon" on his shoes. The Heat released a statement saying, "Our hearts go out to the family and loved ones of Trayvon Martin for their loss and for everyone involved in this terrible tragedy. Rest in peace, Trayvon." Take me out to the ball game. The MLB regular season will be starting next week on April 5th, so be sure to tune in at 1:10 p.m. and watch the Atlanta Braves versus the New York Mets in the Citi Field Stadium. In GSU baseball news, the first game to kick off a 3-game series versus George Mason took place today at 3 p.m. in Virginia. The 2 games following will be Saturday at 2 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. These 3 games will not be on the radio, so keep track of the games on the Georgia State Athletics website. In the golf world, Tiger Woods finally comes out with a win for the first time in 30 long months. Tiger took home the trophy at the Arnold Palmer Invitational for the 7th time. Unfortunately, Mr. Palmer did not greet him in the winner's circle because Arnold was admitted to the hospital due to high blood pressure. Thankfully, Arnold Palmer has made a full recovery, but it was still bittersweet. Until next time, this was Chanel with your Sports Beat.
Well, we've reached the end of another episode of the Panther Report. Remember to tune in next time on Channel 91 in University Housing and online as a live stream at gstvonline.org.
And to view all episodes of this season as well as past ones, visit our YouTube channel, GSTV Panther Report. I'm Satara Koo.
And I'm Mary Beth Scher.
And thanks for watching the Panther Report.